Hi, I'm Daniel from the Dudley and Bob show, and I am Italian, hence my last name Gallo. And in my family, since I was a wee little boy, we've made Fowatza. I personally think it should be spelled with a U, but these guys have spelled it Fowatza. So anywho, I'm going to show you how to make Fowatza. Please come on in. This is Daniel's kitchen. We're making Fowatza. Come on in. First thing you have to do is get your ingredients for Fowatza. It's not hard, but it might take a little while to find it dispersed in the store. We have 2 ounces of anchovies, Crown Prince brand, premium. We have California sliced olives. I don't want diced, I don't want whole, I want sliced. I want some Reggiano, is it? Reggiano Parmesan. Close it so I can show the label. And some dough. Now the way you make the dough, and don't forget your diced onions and your garlic powder and your olive oil. Okay, it's a lot to remember. So, when you make the dough, you take 3/4 cup of dough and 3/4 cup of water. You dilute the water and the yeast. I made the mistake of cooking it without the yeast. That was a bad batch. You take Fleischmann's yeast, open it up, pour about 1/4 of this into the cup of water, a warm cup of water. And when you mix them together, it becomes dough. Then you gotta let it rise for about 30 minutes in a warm spot. I say on top of the stove where it vents out a little bit. It's kind of hot right there. What you're gonna need to do though is bless it. I know, but you always bless the dough. I'm not sure how you do the blessing. If it starts up here, if it's right here, if it's right here, but something about crossing the heart, and then you put a little warm, moist or humid cover on it, like throw a little water sprinklets on it, and bless it. Come back 30 minutes later, it's all risen. Now here's for the fun part. Take a little flour, get it in there. Wash your hands. Wash your hands because you're putting it in dough. And knead that dough, baby. You gotta knead it so it's actually like you can use it. I don't really know what kneading does or what it means, but yeah. I used to use Chef Boyardee, but I started making my own dough. I used to use Chef Boyardee dough because it's really easy to make. So, once you've kneaded it, you got to make your pan a little greasy. So you put a little olive oil in there, and then you spread the olive oil around like that, Then you take your dough, and you want to spread it out. And you just do it like this, and then we seem to be having some issues with the spreading. Can't get it to spread real well. This is a little embarrassing, folks. It seems to be a little old. Sat out too long this morning because I wanted to make it rise before. So we're having some issues here. This may take a while, but really you get the idea. You're spreading it out. I'm going to show you how to put the ingredients in it. I mean, come on, folks. You're going to spread it out, but I'm going to show you how you do it from here. This actually still works. It'll still cook. You take your olives and you punch them in. You got to punch them in. Press them in like that. See how I'm doing this? I'm punching them in. Punch, punch. You get the idea. And then you take the onions and you do the entire can of olives and the half of the onion that I cut. And you punch these in like that. And remember, we're imagining this is stretched out, okay? All right, now here's for the fun part. The anchovies. So, what you do is you unwrap the anchovies. Carefully, don't cut yourself. And you take all that anchovy grease and you pour it on there, 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 and you smother it in like this. And then you take your anchovies and you crumple them up to little tiny pieces, and you punch those in just like that. You get a close-up of that, and you just punch them in like this. It's kind of hard to do without an assistant. You guys get the idea. Now, once every ingredient has been punched in, you take your Parmesan, Reggiano, I think is what it's called.
Oh my.
Oh, come on, this is Daniel's kitchen. We're cooking Fowatza. Hey, Beto. All right, you take your Parmesan and you sprinkle it. I don't know where he went. And you sprinkle it, and look at this, look at this. You preheat your oven to 425. This is what it's going to look like before you put it in. But Always, always, well, you know, I have to wipe off my hands first. Jesus. I mean, come on. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the Lord's name. Cooking. So, garlic powder. There we go. Hey, come on in. We're just cooking. This is Daniel's kitchen. We're making Fowatza. Please, if you need to get your coffee, take the garlic powder, sprinkle it on, set your oven to 425, and you put it in the oven. It's official. So, this is what we put into the oven, and it's been about 15 minutes. Let's check. Oh, there it is. Ah. Fowatza. Let me try some. What do you think, Tony C?
Looks a little breadier than.
Yeah, because he
nice and dense.
used the yeast properly this time.
You've taken a big chunk there.
You guys are. You just let him eat it. God. We're crying out loud, you guys.
Right, it's in there. He actually took a second
There's your
bite.
water if you need it.
He's taking 2 bites. I think he's gonna give you like a.
Oh wow.
Nah, come on.
Oh wow.
It's
How
a
is it,
family
Tony?
recipe. The woman at the store is like, "What are you making?"
You can spit it out. We all did.
He spit it out.
Oh,
Fowatza.